when we travel across the world, obviously in the past 15 months or so, because of COVID, the interactions have been mostly through Zoom and other platforms. But before, in the pre-corona era, when we used to travel quite frequently and talk to people, we had certain notions about how the culture or how the society of India is evolving. Uh, and based on that, we had certain inputs, uh, again, based on which we actually selected the stocks. So one of our very key prominent investment themes is that in India, the aspirations of the younger generation will continue to rise, and so will the aspirational spending. Now, that if the aspirations are rising, people will be more prompted to venture out and buy the discretionary expenditure stock. So you want the latest iPhone, you want the latest gadgets, you want the latest cars to be happening. But again, that is not substantiated by the rise in the incomes of people. So if the because of stagflation conditions, you have high inflation, but the incomes are not increasing. So when we saw that, we realized that a certain set of stocks, uh, like NBFCs or the digital fintechs which are coming in, they are going to benefit enormously, because people are going to then start buying from these fintech companies. Uh, so that's how you understand a trend on the ground, and then you incorporate that into your investment strategy, and based on that you actually buy stocks. Similarly, we had an investment strategy pointed in our investment strategy that household inflation will rise, and that will stay elevated for very next few years, and that is exactly happening. So the inflation which is told by the RBI is mostly food and fuel inflation, but your household inflation is actually rising every year or so. All the expenses related to your maid, your cook, your driver, etc., they are rising, and that is not reflected in the RBI inflation, which is told by the finance ministry or in the RBI projections. But it's a fact that the household inflation is actually rising. So these were some of the themes which we have driven in our investment strategies through our Scuttlebutt surveys and investing and talking to a lot of people on the ground. And that's how we eventually decide on the number of stocks.